What are these women doing that have men wrapped around their finger? And even more important, why are you not one of those women? No, it's not how big your dump truck is. No, it has nothing to do with the size of your yitties. It has everything to do with two things: your approach and your habits. So let's discuss 10 feminine habits that make a man fall in love with you, so that by the end of the video, you'll have a new approach to life and men that'll have other women asking you, what is your secret? For habit number 1, we're going to discuss leading. In every relationship, there's going to have to be a leader and there's going to have to be a follower in a dynamic that's going to work properly. Now, if a man is taking on his masculine energy, he's going to naturally take on leadership qualities in the relationship. And if you're in your feminine energy, you're going to naturally take on some more submissive qualities in your relationship. Now, this is where a lot of people get upset, get confuzzled. They say, oh, no, this is wrong. I don't agree with this. This is wrong. I don't submit to a man because I can't submit to men because these men don't know what they're talking about. Why? Because a lot of times, see, what women who are not in the right headspace, they associate being a follower with being weak. And they associate being the leader with being strong. But true, intelligent, feminine women have this habit of understanding that it actually doesn't make me weak to follow, because I'm not following him because I'm stupid. I'm not following him because I'm incapable. I'm actually just as strong as him because I understand that in the process of allowing my man to lead in the relationship, he'll be more likely to ooze out of his pores, ooze out of his own energy, the qualities in which work for me best as a woman in this relationship. Let me explain to you an example of what I mean. Allowing your man to pick the restaurants on a regular basis that you guys go to, allowing your man to make small decisions throughout the relationship, you're allowing him to use this muscle that he gets trained with over the course of time of saying, okay, I'm gonna take in, what does my woman want? What is important to her? What are her needs? What does she like? What does she not like? And in the process of me taking in all that information, I'll also factor in what's important to me, what I need, what I like, and my values. And then I'm going to put all of that information together, and I'm going to attempt to make the best decision for both of us that in this scenario, right, in whatever direction that we end up going in, it helps both me and it helps her because I factored in everyone's happiness. That is a muscle that men must develop in order to get their leadership qualities. Now, a really smart feminine woman understands creating a habit out of allowing her man to build that muscle memory, that capability and that understanding of how to lead, of how to take in information of what my wife needs or what my girlfriend needs, what my woman needs and what I need, and make decisions based on that information. That's a skill. And the women that create that habit out of allowing their man to develop that skill end up being the happiest women, because once that man develops that skill over the course of time, then he gets good at making decisions, that he gets good at being assertive. And you know what happens when your man gets good at making decisions? Now, all of a sudden, those feminine women no longer have to beg for things. Those feminine women no longer have to beg for the bare minimum. They don't have to beg for princess treatment. Why? Because their man understands, my woman needs this. I know that this will make my woman happy. So before I sit around and don't take action, or before I get scared to ask her or need to say, do you need this or do you need that? I will take action because I know that my woman will be happiest if I do A, B, and C. Habit number 2 is about being needed, because feminine women understand that even though they are smart, intelligent, capable, have all the knowledge in the world to do everything by themselves, that if they really want a man to be happy, to feel in his masculine, to feel like he enjoys being in this relationship, he needs to feel needed. He needs to feel important and valuable to this relationship. I can assure you, men are the most miserable when they feel the least resourceful in their relationship and with their women. Because when they feel the least resourceful, it directly correlates to them and communicates to them, I have no value as a man. I'm a useless man. And when men feel useless around you, they want to be around you less. Feminine women understand that a constant habit they must continue to utilize in their relationship is making their man feel useful, even if what you're having him do for you, you could do completely on your own. The best example I can give you is by showing you a video that went viral, and I think it's hilarious. It's a woman who essentially is trying to take off the doors of her Jeep. And as she's taking them off, she's like, oh, the Jeep's too heavy, the doors, I can't get them off, honey. So her man comes along, he's like, oh, you know, these doors ain't nothing. You just come inside, you don't worry about that. Big, strong man got it.
Baby.
What?
I can't get it. Can you help me?
The next video then shows her when her man's not available or not around because he's at work and she needs to take the Jeep doors off. She just goes ahead, unlatches it, and does it all by herself. She looks like she has no problems. But the irony of that and the genius of that is that she uses that as a small way to make her man feel needed in the relationship, even though she's very capable of doing that and taking off the Jeep doors all by herself. And this is a perfect way to kind of inside your relationship. What feminine women will do is they'll look for those moments, right? They'll look for those times where they can incorporate, hey, this is a time where I can make my man feel useful. I can make him feel resourceful, even though it's a very simple answer, even though it's a very simple solution, even though this jar isn't that tight, even though this Jeep door isn't that heavy. I want him to feel like I need him in this relationship, because as he feels more resourceful, so shall he be in the relationship. Habit number 3 is allowing your man to have his weird side, because the reality of it is, for all of us, especially us men, we're gonna go out into the world and we're going to be as normal as possible to the public, because when we're at work, when we're in a corporate setting, when we're around people that we aren't really that close with, we're not going to want to show them what we really think, how we really are, how we really talk, because that's part of the dynamic of being out in the public versus being in private. But the really smart feminine women understand that the more that they can encourage this side of a man to come out, his goofy side, his side that is unfiltered, that tells jokes, that likes to have fun, that he wouldn't show to the public. Really smart women create a habit of that because they understand this is what's going to make a man feel closer to you, make a man feel like he has more admiration for you and he loves being around you. Because the reality of it is, if this side of him rarely ever gets to come out, and this side of him is the one that he secretly hates because he has to present it to everyone in order to just get paid, in order to go about life, then every time he's around you, this version of himself that he loves so much more because it's so much more real to him, only coming out around you is going to create that much more of love and adoration and appreciation for spending time with you. So when women can help a man make a connection to be your real self, be your unfiltered self, tell me your cringy, funny jokes, act like a child, not literally, but act like a child figuratively in the sense of just be free-spirited. Don't worry so much about saying the right thing all the time. Don't worry so much about doing the right thing all the time. I love you for just being you. That feeling is addicting in itself. And it makes you become part of his addictions when he feels like he can only be that person around you, aside from maybe being by himself. But when you, as an amazing feminine woman, can start to create an environment where he feels like the only other person I can be this real person with is her, then it starts to make you be like, okay, well, I need to have her. I need to be around her because it's hard for me to get this feeling around anyone else. It's hard for me to get this feeling when I'm at work or with my coworkers or with my family. I always want to return back to my woman so I can relax, so I can finally be me for real. Habit number 4 is about being the second brain, because when you start to have a very symbiotic relationship with a man, it creates a bond that is that much more unbreakable. Let me explain to you what I mean by this. See, a man's going to have an understanding of his needs, his desires, his quirks, and what makes him happy. Now, what makes the feminine women with this habit super special is they start to learn their man over the course of time and understand what those needs are, what those desires are, what those quirks are. And then they begin to have the ability, the skill, the superpower to anticipate his needs at any one particular moment in time, whether it be emotional, whether it be physical, and understand what makes him happy, to the point where she's able to actually give him happiness before he's able to actually realize that he needs this thing to make him happy. Let me give you an example of what I mean. It could be something as small as, let's say you guys go out together, and whenever your man has a big meeting, whenever he goes out in public, whenever you guys step outside of the car, he always feels like he needs a breath mint, or he needs like minty gum, because he likes his breath to be super fresh. He doesn't want to be talking to anyone, and then he doesn't have no fresh breath. So you guys are going to an event together, and you anticipate that he's going to need this gum. He's going to need this breath mint because he's going to feel really weird and awkward if he steps out of the car without it, to the point where he might have to stop at the store if he doesn't have it. So what do? You pack the breath mint, you pack the gum, the exact one that you know that he likes to chew on or smack on before he goes out into the public. And when he says, damn, I need a breath mint, damn, I forgot my gum, I got to go to the store and grab it, you say, no. See, you have a man brain, okay? And you have needs, but I already anticipated with my woman brain, okay, what your needs would be, and anticipated what would bring you happiness before you even thought of it yourself. And this is what creates a scenario, and this is why this is so powerful for men, because they start to feel like over the course of time, as this is happening over and over again, wait a second. She's not just important to my life because I like her, she's beautiful, she's amazing. She's important to my life because without her, I would be missing out on a lot of the things I forget about, a lot of the things that make me happy, a lot of the things that are important to me wouldn't even get done because of how good she is at anticipating my needs, and how good she is at making sure that I'm taken care of. And I promise you, as silly as it might sound and as insignificant as it might sound in today's day and age, the feeling and the value that this brings when you are a woman like this cannot even be measured. Because the way it will rejuvenate you as a man, make you feel cared for by your woman, is something that only empowers you and emboldens you more to feel like, okay, well, I want to also serve and do for my woman as well. Habit number 5 is about correcting him. Feminine women create this very important habit. Nothing wrong with telling your man that he's wrong, because just like any other human being, he will not be perfect. He will make mistakes. And sometimes in a situation, even that's outside of the two of you, he will be wrong in the situation. Feminine women understand, though, that there is a right time and place to correct your man. There's a right time and place to tell your man that he's wrong. And it's not about you not being able to speak up for yourself. It's not about you not being able to be honest about what's actually going on. It's about preserving the sanctity and the unity of your relationship with your man. The two of you are meant to stand on one accord. The two of you are meant to stand together, meaning I've got your back and you've got mine. Sometimes you'll be in the wrong. I'm still going to have your back. But when I talk to you about how you're wrong, I'm going to make sure I do it in a way that doesn't embarrass you, doesn't shame you, and doesn't emasculate you. Feminine women understand this very, very important dynamic because it relates to something really important for men that I know some of you don't like to talk about: ego, okay? And, the feeling that, hey, if you try and correct me or stand against me in front of other people, it's going to make me feel emasculated because now even my woman isn't on my side. Now, that's not to say that your man might not be really, really wrong sometimes, but understanding how to approach your man and how to talk to him and how to let him know, hey, this was wrong what you did. This was not right. Yes, I stood up for you, and I stood by you while you said your thing and you did your spiel and you did this and you did that. But now that we're here and now that no one else is watching us anymore, I'm going to address you honestly and let you know that you need to take accountability for what you did and advise you on how you probably should go about apologizing or reconciling this situation. Because I'm not going to continue to stand by you if you're going to continue to do this situation completely wrong. But what I won't do is I won't try to emasculate you in front of everyone, because there's a right time and place for me to bring up my issues with you. See, this is one of the skill sets that emotionally mature women possess, and understanding how to approach men Tell them they're wrong. Have tough conversations. Correct them. Criticize them, but in a way that doesn't emasculate them and allows them to actually change the behavior, admit to being wrong, take accountability, go out into the world, and then fix it, and allowing you and your relationship to continue having that unity. Habit number 6 is about masculinity. Now, this one's going to make some of you a little bit uncomfortable, so I'm just warning you, okay? Here's the thing. When a guy is actually in a committed relationship with you, this can be a mistake that a lot of women end up making. Now, the really feminine, intelligent women understand how to not make this mistake. I'll explain it to you here. So when men are naturally acting in their masculine selves, there's going to be certain qualities that present themselves within him that are just going to feel natural to him when he's into you and he's in his masculine energy. For example, you're a super hot, sexy, attractive woman with a nice figure that any man would be turned on by. And so when he actually becomes your man, I mean, like when you guys are in an actual relationship, it's natural for him as a masculine man with regular hormones to be really attracted to you, both mentally, physically, and definitely sexually, okay? So the reason I say that is because when he then presents to you, hey, I think you're really hot. He's slapping your ass at random times when you're just washing the dishes. He's walking by and touching your butt. He's walking by and hugging you from behind. See, the smart, intelligent, feminine women who have this habit will make sure they embrace the times when their man is in his masculine energy, right? Taking control of a situation, making decisions like I talked about earlier. Also showing how sexually excited and attracted he is to his woman. The women who are not aware of how this habit is good, but how this habit can also harm the relationship, will do the opposite. See, when their man is expressing his masculinity, trying to take control of a situation by making the decision for both of you, or trying to think about your needs, or trying to do something without being prompted, or showing his sexual desire and attraction from you, some women will actually deny that. And I know it sounds very small and minute because you might just be thinking, well, I wasn't in the mood. I didn't want it at that time. I'm not really turned on. But slowly but surely, every time that happens, you're actually, I should say, rejecting his masculinity. And you're telling him, hey, tune it down a little bit. Yeah, I get it. You're attracted to me. Don't put your heart on my back, though. I'm washing the dishes. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. I don't have time for this. I'm too tired. And over the course of time, what's going to happen is this hard-on is going to turn into a soft-on because his masculinity is constantly being suppressed. Hey, don't make decisions for us because you always make the wrong decision, okay? You're an idiot. You're useless. Don't try and be resourceful at all in the relationship because your version of resourceful always messes things up more, right? Don't show me your attraction to me because it's always annoying and useless and bothersome and I just hate it, right? All of these things will start to suppress his masculinity over the course of time. But the smart feminine women understand that if I encourage his masculinity, not only will it help him feel better about himself, but it'll also help me achieve the things that I want to feel in the relationship. And when I say encourage his masculinity, what I really mean is embracing it and embracing that when he is in that state of mind, when he is attracted to you, when he wants you, when he desires you, when he feels like he wants to ravish you because of how much he just wants to bite into you, that is a good state for him to be in. Now, obviously, it should be consensual, but that's a good mental state for him to be in. That's a good place for him to be in because then he desires his woman. He wants his woman. You want to know what he's less likely to do when he has this deep burning desire for his woman? He's less likely to go out and cheat, right? So these are the type of things you have to be thinking about. What am I encouraging and what am I discouraging? The feminine women who have this habit will understand how to encourage masculinity because at the end of the day, it helps and benefits both parties in the relationship. Habit number 7 is holding space because feminine women with this habit understand how to prompt their man into sharing and being honest and being upfront about how they really feel. See, I know it sounds toxic because toxic masculinity is ruining the world. But men are naturally going to have a disposition where they don't want to be so open about their feelings. They don't want to be so upfront about, hey, this thing really disappointed me. This person really upset me. This person really made me sad. Okay. Men are rarely just going to come out and say, today I'm sad. But that doesn't mean that they don't feel those feelings. Now, really smart, intelligent, feminine women create a habit out of prompting their man when they notice things are off, right? And I took a list of some of the types of prompts that these feminine women will use in those scenarios, okay? So one of them could be, I can see that you're stressed. Okay, acknowledging I already know something is up. Okay, so you don't have to hide or pretend or make yourself seem like you're good, because I can notice that something is stressing you, something's on your mind, something's giving you anxiety. It's a perfect way to hold space for your man, like, hey, this can be your time to share. This can be your time to be honest. I wrote another one here. I noticed your energy has changed, right? Another way of saying, hey, you don't have to feel like you need to come out and tell me I'm sad today in order for us to talk about it. I can notice the change within you and prompt you to say, hey, this is your time to talk about it. I already know something's going on, so you might as well tell me so you could clear the air, right? Another one could be, you don't have to hold it in. If you notice that it might be something from his work or something with his family that you know is on his mind, and you know is kind of shifting his energy or making him a little bit more quiet because he's playing all these scenarios through his mind, and prompting him to, like, hey, this is your time to share. This can be your floor, right? The reason that this is such an amazing feminine habit is because, as amazing as women are, sometimes in a relationship, the relationship can always feel like it's about your woman's feelings and your woman's happiness. I'm just being honest with you as a man. And we get so accustomed to happy wife, happy life, and trying our best to make our woman happy, that even sometimes we neglect our own happiness, and we stop trying to gauge our own feelings and our own emotions at any one point in time, because we say, well, as long as my woman's happy, then everything's all good. And, you know, if I'm feeling things, let's not discuss it, because my woman's happiness and her emotions are the only things we need to discuss and talk about. And being able to hold space and also recognize the times and the places where it's like, okay, even if I might be feeling something, even if I might want to talk about something or address something, I think this is a time to hold space for him to address what's on his mind, for him to address some anxiety or some stress he might have in his life, for him to vent and talk to me about some idiot at work that's been bothering him and getting on his nerves. Because trust me, men also need that as well. They're just hard. It's just harder for them to actually say that. And I know it feels like babying, but we all have our strengths and weaknesses in a relationship. So for our 8th habit, we're going to talk about life, but specifically, I'm going to talk about the habit of being able to speak life into your man. Because I tell you, as a man, I'm like shivering when I'm thinking about it. There is nothing better than hearing from the woman you love and care about how capable you are, how well you take care of her, how strong and intelligent you are. It's like music to our ears, okay? Especially coming from someone who we value so much. It makes us feel like Superman. Really smart women understand how powerful their tongue is, their mouth is, not in a dirty way. They understand how powerful their mouth is and how much life they can speak into their man. So they're very, very strategic with the ways that they do that. I'm not talking about complimenting your man by saying, hey, you have a nice shirt on, or your muscles are so big. I'm talking about speaking life into his character, speaking life into his personality, speaking life into the way that he takes care of you, speaking life into his value, into his resourcefulness as a man, okay? All of these things is what builds a man up and makes him feel as capable as you actually want him to be. And really smart women are able to utilize that and utilize that dynamic in their relationship as the one person who can speak all of that life into him, and use that to help him be more capable, to help build up his own, I guess we could say, self-esteem, to go out into the world, conquer more things out into the world, and then come back to you. Now, of course, we're talking about speaking life into a man who is actually your man. I'm not talking about speaking life into a stranger. I'm talking about utilizing this in a relationship where the man also acknowledges that you're his woman and also shows that he wants to be committed to you. And you have to understand how much power you now wield as being his woman in just your mouth and in your words. Because the same way you can speak a bunch of life into a man and make him feel like he can conquer anything and do anything and push even harder than his limits thought he could, right, is the same way you can actually speak the opposite of life into a man and make him feel weak, insignificant. You can step on his self-esteem. You can make him feel like absolutely nothing. That's how powerful your mouth is. Every time I say that, it sounds weird. That's how powerful your mouth is as a woman. Our ninth habit is about lifting others up. Now, I'm not talking about supporting others like financially or anything like that. What I'm talking about is the habit of, see, when you're confident within yourself, when you've been taking care of yourself, when you've been making sweet love to yourself, you have a certain twinkle, a certain sheen about your energy that is going to ooze through your pores and also rub off on other people. See, if I'm with you as a man, I'm going to not just be with you in private, but I'm also going to go out in public with you. Eventually, I'm going to meet your friends. Eventually, I'm going to meet your family and everyone in your coexisting bubble. I'll start to take notice of when we walk into a room, do you lift others up? Do you brighten people's day? Does your energy and your aura make people start smiling and everyone's like, oh my God, she's here. Oh my God. They're giving you big hugs. And you can start to notice as a man the reaction that your woman gets from other people that she's friends with, that are close to her, platonic friends, family members. And you can also notice the women who walk into a room and it seems like everyone goes, oh my God, she's here. Please look away. Oh my God, we got to stop talking now. Oh my God, fun time's over. You know, the B word's here. We can't have fun now. And I'm telling you, this is something that guys can observe. And the women who are able to lift a room up with just her spirit and just her presence is very noticeable because, one, we'll feel it ourselves because we'll love being around her, but we'll also notice it when we go out with you and other people enjoy being around you and you're just an overall joy to be around. Now, does that mean that you have to pretend to be happy all the time? No. It's about when you're taking care of yourself properly, you're going to have this bright light energy that other people want to be around. Vice versa, if you're not taking care of yourself properly, you're going to have this very dark, weighted energy that's like a cloud wherever you go. Once you've experienced it, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you think of the woman in your life or the friend in your life that when she comes around, you start to feel like, you almost feel like, damn, I'm sad now. I was happy before, my girlfriend came around and now I'm sad. I don't know what it is. She didn't do anything. She didn't say anything. I'm just sad now, right? And the same way you might have a girlfriend that when she comes around, you're like, oh my God, I was like feeling all right before, but just seeing your face, literally, I just seen your face and I feel great, okay? Some people will have these different types of energy, and it's all about how you're taking care of yourself. Feminine women create a habit of taking care of themselves on a consistent basis that they can have this light, bright energy that lifts any room up that they walk into. In habit number 10, we're gonna discuss calming because feminine women create a habit out of understanding how, even in really small ways, to calm their man when he is stressed out. And it's such an invaluable skill to possess because honestly, truthfully, as a man, you're not going to be able to find that skill set in every woman that we meet. An example of that, and it doesn't have to be something big, right? It's not, it doesn't even have to be anything, make him a sandwich or anything like that. I'm telling you, it can be as small as he comes home from work and you can sense that he's really stressed. You can sense that something's giving him anxiety, a project that he's got, an assignment that he has, someone on his back from work, whatever the case may be. And you do something as simple as you guys are in the car and you just rub the back of his neck because you know he loves that feeling. It's very sensual for him and it calms him down a lot. It could be a head rub or a head massage, right? Head massage, right? This head. A head massage, right? It could be, him laying on your chest or just laying on your lap, letting him be a little bit of a baby in a way that is calming and soothing to him. Because once again, men aren't very good at asking for these things, but we do need these things, okay? And they are important and so valuable when a woman can recognize, oh, I see that he's stressed. And I know he's probably not going to say, hey, can you rub the back of my neck right now? I'm super stressed. Even though obviously it would be ideal if he would just ask. And he's probably not going to say, hey, can you give me a head rub? Can I lay on your chest like a little baby? But see, the real smart and intelligent feminine woman, they create a habit out of recognizing, reading their man's emotions and saying, I know what you need right now. I know what you need to calm yourself down, and I know how to be a calming presence in your life. Once again, this creates a scenario where he feels like, I'm stressed out in life, and things are going to come at me, things are going to happen. My stress reliever is this woman. And if my stress reliever is this woman, well, that's just one more reason why I need to be around and with this woman, which is what makes these type of women such a joy to be around. Because as the way that they will do for you and the way that they will care for you, notice that nothing I said here has to do with money. Nothing I said here has to do with sex or anything sexual, right? The way that he will do for you, or she will do for you as a woman, will make you feel like, I need to have this woman in my life. I love having this woman in my life, and I love being able to serve her as her man.